All right, you guys, so the oil pump is on, everything's all torque to spec. Plug up one of the oil restrictions over here. What else do I did? Oh, and I shimmed the oil pump and poured it out. I went and installed it because I didn't want to bore you guys from the install. There's plenty of videos out there that does it way better than I do, but on my DC kit, I went in and installed a DC timing chain guard. I reused the timing chain components, but I replaced my timing chain a K-tune one. I went in and installed the VTC 50-degree cam. I know this is upside down, but I'm gonna be installing the oil pan. And I'm sorry you guys that on the other video I said I was gonna buy the Ramsey Racing short block, but I might have to postpone that maybe next time. Have the stock motor for now. They're pretty good, around like 500. We'll just keep it at that at the moment until I get a new block. All these new parts over here too as well, I'm just gonna use it for the next build. And there's way more stuff for me to actually buy, so to get this MR2 build going and how I want it, and hopefully I could get it done soon. But like I said, I have the ice box, the heat exchanger from Misamoto, and the air to water intercooler. So we're just gonna zip through this, put everything back together, and figure out what I need next. I know for the fact that my bolts for the transmission are coming in, and some reason when I ordered the half shaft bolt, everything came back on, but this one, some reason, it didn't want to go through. So wrong part. I'm gonna have to try to find a bolt for it. All right, you guys, so I know I'm skipping a lot of stuff on the video because it's just pretty simple stuff. After putting Honda Bond and installing all the covers and the oil pan, I just went ahead and just put everything back together. Even the water pump has this, I put a new Honda Bond on it. The main issue right now is that I'm trying to find a sensor. I think either it's the fan sensor for this thermostat housing, but I was gonna, and over here I was gonna plan to weld this AN fitting right here, but I decided to just, just use this, get something to loop it with, and it should work. I still need to find some kind of 90-degree or like a 40-degree nipple over here, so I could put the pipe and lines for the MR2. But other than that, somehow I misplaced the plugs for the Ultra Race manifold, so I'm gonna have to take this to Ace real quick and find the right size for them, and then put some Teflon tape, and should be good. And I'm gonna have to recheck every single one of these guys right here too as well, so they're nice and tight. Hopefully it doesn't leak. A lot of people say it would leak, so if it leaks, I'm gonna have to put a Honda Bond and take this gasket off. All right, should be a fun trip, but after that I'm gonna install the manifold, put the clutch on to this block, and then Actually, I had to drop this and then find something to lay it with to wheel it around and then put the transmission on. All right, so now that we have the motor down, we're gonna be working on, well, I'm gonna be working on the transmission, and I'm gonna install this stage 3 clutch from Action Clutch. I have the Insane half shaft over here, and I bought new bolts for the transmission, and we got some ARP bolts for the flywheel. And then hopefully tonight I could probably put this with it. So all right, so have the bolts removed. 17 12-point bolts. I don't know if you guys could see. I don't know if the lighting really sucks over here. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm gonna try to turn it just a little. The automatic doesn't come with a pilot bearing on it, which is a good thing, so I don't have to buy or rent a bearing puller. So now I'm gonna install the flywheel first with the 1, 2. So we need that. We need this later. This is what we need. Actually, they label it, which is pretty neat. This one is flywheel side, so it's gonna be like that. All right. Put this on the tripod and install it. All right, you guys. So have the pilot bearing installed already. I did the ARP flywheel bolts. I use blue Loctite because I don't know, red Loctite, I'm not quite sure. The manual doesn't really tell you to use any Loctite at all, but a lot of people say vibrate off. But I was pretty generous with it. Put a lot, not glooping a lot, but you know, just plenty. Because if I was gonna reuse it or you know, reuse it to a different car, then if I back it out, the bolts won't strip per se. So and then what I did is that took a bolt and I use one of the transmission bolt too as well, and then use that as a leverage. So yeah, it makes it easier if you didn't have anybody to help you, you know, torque this thing down. I mean, I would have just ugga it, but yeah, definitely that would strip it. So next up, put the clutch on, and yeah, that should be it, I think. And then hopefully I could probably get this transmission on tonight. Wish me luck. I'm putting the clutch on. Clean this with the brake cleaner too as well. All right, so the flywheel bolts were torqued down to, was it 87 foot-pounds, but I did 88. These are torqued down to 19 pounds already. I made sure the flywheel was kind of like moving around when I installed this, but now it doesn't move no more, but it's aligned, so this has to come out fairly easy. Just like so. So if you can't do that, then you're fucked. We got it on. I'm gonna have to take this turbo off and put the transmission on. Next up, grease onto the back of this clutch fork. Look how nice this is. Okay, that's not going anywhere. That's good. Gotta make sure. Yep. Alright, one thing for sure, I was having a hard time putting the transmission on because the original motor had a dowel pin in it too as well. I destroyed it because I couldn't find a vice grip to actually hold on to it. So I was been using this, so it kind of like shredded off. A simple way to actually just have it remove is take a bolt extractor, hammer it in there, and then use an impact same size as that. Use some PV blasters with this because it makes it a lot easier to remove. See it moving? It's actually loose now. Didn't take one of these guys. Pull it right out. There you go. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna chop this water pipe, and I gotta remove some of these bolts off of it, put Honda Bond, and then hopefully I can put the turbo on, and then measure the oil return line from the oil pan. She's getting there. Alright, so got the turbo on, cut the pipe so I can put this on to the heater core of the MR2. And with this too as well, I'm gonna try to find a 90-degree that would point this way so I can point it out to the heater core for the MR2. These are the water line for the turbo, and this one too. I should cut this thing down a little shorter. Goes right here, this one goes underneath, and then to this side right here. And this is why I like the motor out. When I was doing the measurement on the oil return line, and it goes down there, I'm gonna have to shorten it down like I said on the other video. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe, I don't know, 4 more inches, and I'm gonna try to find probably a 90 going up. So it's not quite sure. Maybe I'll just keep it the same. Maybe point this out a little more to my side this way so it's not in the way. And I will try to find a bracket that would mate. We'll keep this thing in a downward position instead of jiggling around like this. There is a high point right here, so I'm not quite sure if the oil will run down. Alright, so I just repositioned the oil return line, and from the turbo too as well, and it's not hitting the transmission. I do still need to find a bracket for it to keep it in place so it doesn't move around once in motion, so it doesn't get ruined. And one thing for sure, I did get a 90-degree fitting for this water adapter plate to go with the Toyota MR2 heater core. And then over here too, I might have to remove all this or remove the intake manifold and redo this water adapter plate, and then drill, I don't know if you guys can see that, drill over here and then put a bolt through it so it's so it keeps it from not moving around, because I hear a lot of bad stories of this plate leaking. I know it's a generic brand, but they're all the same. I don't really trust this bolt hanging on over here with the little spring on the back of it. So other than that, so I mean, motor transmission is on I'll start working on it next time, but it's just getting there, you guys. This should wrap it for now. See you next time.